Hey, this is John Cena, and you are watching this WWE Fan 13.
Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be another top 10 of my favorite items in my collection, and today's video is going to be my top 10 favorite autographs in my collection. So as you see, I had to pull out the old rusty ladder because a lot of the stuff is up here. And so yeah, with that being said, I'm going to show you guys just my, like I said, easy top 10 favorite items in my collection that I have gotten signed over the years of going to WrestleMania, of going to autograph signings at cricket or conventions, or just getting lucky and meeting them before a show. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to be showing you guys from number 10 all the way to number 1. So yeah, let's get ready and let me show you guys everything. Like I mentioned before we start this video, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I hope you guys all have a great day. Spend a lot of time with the loved ones, and yeah, let's get started. And happy Valentine's Day for I love you. Happy Valentine's Day, mom and dad, and everyone. So the first item I can't physically bring down because it'll mess up the entire part it's in. It's actually located right up here. So let me take you guys over there and I'll show you guys what number 10 is. All right, climbing up the ladder, number 10 is my Deluxe Classic Limited Edition Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy 2-pack classics. If you guys don't know, I absolutely love my classic figures. And so the fact that I was able to get this figure, number 1, and to have both Hardy sign it, it's just something I always wanted, and I'm glad I was able to get done. So as you see here, there's Jeff with his signature, his big elaborate signature, and then there's Matt. Alright guys, number 9 is coming from my WWE encyclopedia. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you guys know this encyclopedia has traveled all over the United States. And so the number 9 signature that is absolutely one of my favorites is the one, the only, Paul Heyman. So if you guys don't know, I absolutely love Paul Heyman and everything he's doing with the bloodline. I've always loved Paul Heyman. He's always made any wrestler he's worked with look like a star. Example, Brock Lesnar. Since Brock is not really much of a talker, you know, Brock brings the strength, Heyman brings the talking. So that's why I've always loved Paul Heyman. But yeah, there he is right there. So there's his photo in the book. And then there's a whole page about him. But right there, there's his actual signature. So I was able to meet Paul Heyman during WrestleMania 32 weekend with my brother and Vince. As you guys know, one of my friends, Vince. We were able to get in line to meet him. Overall, Paul Heyman was a super nice guy. Definitely would meet him again. I didn't mention with the Hardys. The Hardys are also really cool guys. Jeff is a little shy when it comes to meeting fans. Matt talks your ear off, but they're also super, super nice guys. This one I got signed during WrestleCon in, I'm going to say probably San Jose, so WrestleMania 31, because that's when I met both of them. But yeah, that's when I got them signed, and they were super nice. And then Paul Heyman, like I said, WrestleMania 32 weekend in Dallas. I met him with my brother and with Vince, and he was super cool, talked to you, just treated you like he knew you. And he was a super nice guy. So if you guys ever get a chance to meet Paul Heyman, definitely meet him. Alright guys, and coming at number 8 is also in my encyclopedia. He is someone who's made my childhood, you know, who was my childhood villain, basically. And that is the one, the only, definitely future Hall of Famer, Randy Orton. So there he is right there, his photo, and then right there, his signature. So the story behind this signature is that basically, I believe in Orlando as well, WrestleMania 33, Vince and I were trying to find some wrestlers to meet. So we were at Access and we were meeting people, you know, and we heard that a lot of the wrestlers VIP tickets go down in price a lot the night before their signing. So we decided to start looking, and one of our friends, Brandon, told us, hey, I got these Randy Orton tickets for honestly, I don't remember how much they were, but they were below $100. I want to say maybe even below $50. And so we saw that, we're like, oh, so me and Vince jumped online, started looking, and sure enough, we found tickets to go meet Randy Orton for definitely probably less than $50, if not around $50. And so that is a tip if you guys go to WrestleMania, and if you guys want to take your chance to see if there's a VIP that goes down in sale right the night before his autograph signing, there's a good chance it will, because that's what happened with us, and that's how we were able to meet Randy Orton, and that's also what happened at my very second WrestleMania where we got to meet Rey Mysterio because the prices went down as well. So that is my number 8. Coming in at number 7, also in the encyclopedia. I promise, not all these are in the encyclopedia, but just like the middle ones are. Number 7, one of the men who made wrestling what it is, put it on the map. You know, wrestling probably would not be as big as it wasn't for him and a few others. And that is the immortal Hulk Hogan. So, I know there's a lot of controversy with him. We're going to bypass that. We're going to look at it as a wrestling standpoint. But being able to meet Hulk Hogan as a wrestling fan is a pretty big deal, in my opinion. But there's his photo and his signature right there. And his other side, he got 2 pages. You know you make it big in wrestling when you have 2 pages in the encyclopedia. But, yeah, there he is. Right there. And so basically the story behind this one was, again, in Orlando for WrestleMania 33. As you see, me and Vince have done a lot of autograph signings together because that one trip alone, we met so many people. We found out that Hulk Hogan was opening a store in Orlando. And it is the Hulk Hogan Beach Shop. And Vince told me about it. He's the one that found out about it. And he told me that they are doing autograph signings and Hogan will be doing a limited amount of autograph signings. And I told him, well, we got to do it. We got to go. So sure enough, we bought our tickets. A little pricey, but I wouldn't expect any less than for meeting a Hulk Hogan. Like, there's a certain group of guys that I would pay a lot of money to meet. And that is The Rock. I would pay a lot. Hogan, Cena, and Stone Cold. Those are the 4 guys that I would pay a pretty penny to, and I've paid a pretty penny to meet 2 of them, and I guess you can say a pretty penny because I had cancer, so I got Make-A-Wish, but we're not gonna go there. Haven't met The Rock yet. I don't know if I ever will. It'd be cool. But back to Hogan, we went to his beach shop, and it was pretty cool. We got to see his store. We bought some stuff from his store, and we met him, and he was a super nice guy. Definitely would meet him again. He was genuinely a nice guy to his fans, and he paid attention to all his fans. He had full conversations with a lot of them. You know, most of the time when you meet wrestlers, you only get to have like a 10-second conversation. Each of us had a good like few minutes with him just to talk to him, and he would talk to us about if we were having fun this weekend, what we were going to do, if we were going to WrestleMania, and all that stuff, and what we were looking forward to. And yeah, so it was cool to meet Hulk Hogan. Not a name I ever thought I would meet, but now I was able to because of YouTube and all of you guys. And yeah, so that is my number 7. Okay, so that is enough for the encyclopedias until we get a little bit down. I have a signature in my very first edition encyclopedia, but on to the figures. So coming in at number 6 is a wrestler that I met during WrestleMania 34 weekend, someone who I never thought I'd be able to meet. But the minute I saw that he was doing a signing, I jumped on those tickets, and it is Stone Cold Steve Austin. So when I found out he was doing a signing, I had to go. I knew I had to meet him. I did have him sign my encyclopedia that you just saw, but I feel like this one is like the cream of the crop of my signatures from him. So as you see, it is the Stone Cold Steve Austin defining moments. As you guys remember, I used to love these figures. As you see, I have them all along this shelf. So there it is with his titles and then his signature in a blue Sharpie. And overall just looks really cool. And I'm so glad that I was able to get this figure signed, and I'm so glad I was able to meet him. And overall, Stone Cold was super cool. There was a whole mix-up. If you guys went to WrestleMania 34, if you guys went to WrestleCon to go meet him, it was a big mess on the morning of WrestleMania, and that's the day I met him. Big mess. Was not, as far as the company who brought him, they were very unorganized. They just did not do it very well. But Stone Cold himself was super cool. He was trying to make up for kind of what the company screwed up. So he was hanging out with everyone, talking to everybody, and he just made it an unforgettable experience meeting him. Okay, so coming in at number 5, it is my very first autograph I ever got in my entire life, my entire collection. Very first person I ever met was the guy that got me into wrestling. It's not all these guys, obviously, but it's the first one you see right here, Rey Mysterio. So there's a whole backstory to this. Let me show you the card, and then I'm going to tell you guys the story. But there he is right there, Rey 619. Hopefully you guys can see it right there. Just a WWE Topps card. So, the story behind this was I was going to my very first WWE show in Las Cruces. This was, I don't even remember what year it was, but it was when Rey Mysterio and Chris Jericho were feuding for the mask during that time. So, I remember my very first show, I was gonna, my brother took me to my show. This is my very first show. And I remember getting ready to go. I didn't have any wrestling shirts yet. I had nothing. So I was buying everything for the first time at that show. So I remember the only thing I had were some cards, as you see right here. And so I grabbed my Rey Mysterio card and I came over to my brother, which this used to be his room. So I asked him, hey Corey, because I knew he collected football cards, do you have any card protectors? Because I want to take this card to see if I can get it signed by Rey Mysterio. And he said, yeah, but you know, don't get your hopes up. It's probably not going to happen because there's so many people there. And in my mind, I told him, you know, I'm going to take the chance because I really want to get this card signed. And he said, all right then. And he gave it to me. But, you know, just acknowledging, don't get my hopes up if I don't get it signed. So we go to the show. I get my very first shirt. It was the Rey Mysterio big face shirt. The one that was like, I still have it in my drawer, but it was like his whole face was on the shirt. It was blue and black. And then I got my Rey Mysterio bear, which I have over there. It was like it was the ones, I don't know if you guys remember, but it was the ones where they did the teddy bears and they had Edge, they had Undertaker, they had Cena, and then I got Rey Mysterio. And because if you guys don't know, I love Rey Mysterio. The reason I started watching wrestling, him and Eddie Guerrero. So we went, I bought my stuff, we're sitting there, we're up in the nosebleeds because at that time my parents didn't realize how much I was invested into wrestling, so they thought it was just something I liked, but not how obsessed I am now, as you see. So we were up there, and after the match ended, I think the main event was Edge versus Jeff Hardy. We ran down to where we saw the wrestlers park. We were standing there waiting for them to come out. You know, other people came out. I didn't have anything for them to sign. Like Tommy Dreamer came out, and some of the women came out. I just gave them high fives and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, Rey Mysterio comes out. And my brother was like, oh my God, he actually came out. Because like guys like Triple H and Edge and Jeff Hardy just went straight to their car and left. And so Rey Mysterio saw us, and if you guys don't know, El Paso is heavily Hispanic Mexican. So he knew, and obviously Eddie Guerrero was his best friend, and Las Cruces is 30 minutes from El Paso, so it's basically the same thing. So he knew this was like his big fans here. And so he walked around, started signing, and the thing is, everyone was pushing you against the guardrail, so I'm getting squished against the guardrail. And if you guys don't know, my brother is a big dude. He is 6'4", and at the time he was, you know, muscular, got out of high school, basketball player, jack dude. And so he saw me and he was like, okay, we're gonna get this card signed. We're gonna get it signed. So he has my card. He puts his arm out as far as he can. Basically, if Rey Mysterio wasn't looking, my brother would have clotheslined Rey Mysterio. That's how far my brother was sticking his arm out. And thanks to my brother, I got my card signed. And so, yeah, that's the story on that card. It was my very first autograph. I remember driving home, just looking at it like, oh my God, I got Rey Mysterio's autograph. And since that day, it was just kind of like, I don't want to say an addiction, but like adrenaline just to meet wrestlers. And that's where it all started. And that's when I started doing YouTube. When I got home, I made a YouTube channel. I started doing videos, and then I moved into this room and I made it a wrestling room. And that's where we are now. And it's all because of this night. Coming in at number 4 from my, I believe, the first edition encyclopedia, is someone I met during WrestleMania 28 weekend with my nephew. We were going to Undertaker's graveyard. If you guys used to go to WrestleMania back then, you guys know they had a whole graveyard for Undertaker's undefeated streak. And on the tombstones, it had, the wrestlers' names who he's beaten. And in this one section, I started looking, and there was a line. And it was none other, not The Undertaker, but Paul Bearer. Yes, I was lucky enough to be Paul Bearer, rest in peace. But there's his picture and his autograph right there. He was a super nice guy. He stayed in character for his meet and greet, but overall it was super cool to meet him. Then I was barely becoming like a super fan. but not realizing how much this autograph would mean to a wrestling fan now. I'm glad I went and got in line. It was a pretty long line. So I'm so glad I had my encyclopedia. That was the first year I had this encyclopedia, and he was one of the first ones to sign it. So I'm very glad I was able to meet him. Like I said, it was super cool. He was in character, you know, asking like, oh, like, do you know where the Undertaker? Like he was, especially because we were kids. So when we met him, I was, I think, like a freshman, and my nephew was probably like 7, 8 years old. So, you know, he was playing up the character and whatnot. But it was super cool to meet him, and I have my photo with him and whatnot. And one day I'll do a video showing all my photos with wrestlers. But yeah, so number 4 is definitely Paul Bearer. Coincidentally, coming in at number 3, Paul Bearer's old friend, The Undertaker. So I was able to meet The Undertaker, yes. It's crazy how this happened and how I was able to meet him. But first, let me show you guys the figure. So there's The Undertaker. I love his signature. Watching him sign it, he's so slow with it, so meticulous, because I guess he likes his signatures a certain way. But yeah, there he is. Defining moments. I told you guys I love these figures. I have a whole bunch more signed up there. But there's the back. So the story with this one. So, as you guys know, I used to have cancer. I, did Make-A-Wish. I did all that stuff. So one day, I was at the hospital getting ready to do this procedure called a lumbar puncture. Or no, this one I think was a bone marrow aspiration. Bone marrow aspiration, they put you to sleep. At least my doctor does it this way. Puts you to sleep, takes a needle, big needle, like this big, into your hip and pulls out bone marrow. I don't feel any of this. I'm asleep, whatever. The only thing that's happened is it's caused me arthritis over the years, but nothing I can't handle. But he pulls it out. But basically, before it was my turn to go in, I was sitting on YouTube and Twitter, because, you have to wait a few hours before it's your turn, because you have to do blood work, you have to do all this stuff, pregnancy tests, blah, blah, blah. So basically, someone on Twitter told me that Undertaker was going to be signing in Austin. And if you guys don't know, my brother used to live in San Antonio, which is about an hour, 2-hour drive from San Antonio. So when I found out, I told my mom, please let me go meet The Undertaker. This is the best chance I'm ever going to get. So, of course, we were sitting there. My mom thought about it. And the thing is, during the time with being sick, I was very sick. I've almost died on a few occasions. So my mom always tried to have things for me to do to keep my spirits up and not get depressed. Being not only I missed my senior year of high school, I can't go play college softball like I wanted. I'm missing out on being a young adult. So she would always try to get me tickets to go to wrestling stuff. So she thought about it for a while. The tickets were a little pricey, but she finally said yes. So she told me yes, literally probably about 10 minutes before I was about to go get my procedure done. I woke up from the procedure, we went home, bought the tickets. So then a few months later, after we bought the tickets, my mom sent me to San Antonio. My brother picked me up from the airport. The next day, we drove to Austin and we met The Undertaker. And honestly, The Undertaker was really cool. The tickets were really pricey, like I said. And I think it was from Wizard World Comic Con. I think that's the Comic Con he was at. And so it seemed like he got annoyed with how expensive his tickets were. So he was letting people get more than one signature. And the people at Wizard World were getting annoyed. And we were the third one in line. So he let the first 2 people get more signatures. And by the time it was my turn, I guess the security guards at the Wizard World were getting annoyed. And like, hey, they only paid for 1. And which is true because the tickets were really pricey. Oh no, we paid for 2, I think. How many did we pay for? 1 or 2? 2. We paid for 2, and I was trying to get a third one. I had him sign this, and then I had him sign my encyclopedia, but I was going to try to get him to sign my world heavyweight title. And so I told him, hey, Undertaker, I wanted to buy more tickets, but they were just kind of pricey. Would you mind signing this? He's like, yeah, no issue at all. I'll sign whatever you want. And so exactly what he told the first 2 guys. And when he was about to sign my title, the security guards told him, whoa, they only paid for 2. You already signed 2. And he looked at them, signed it while he was looking at them, and then gave me my bell. He's like, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you feel better, and whatnot. And as I was walking away, I heard him tell the security guards, I'm bringing a lot of people here. I'm making this Comic-Con a lot of money, so if I want to sign an extra autograph for my fans, I'm going to. and they didn't tell him anything for the rest of the night. And it was just really cool. Undertaker was kind of like, screw you guys, they're already paying a lot of money to be here. One extra autograph is not gonna hurt. So Undertaker's awesome. He is overall a super nice guy. When we took a photo with him, because it was separate photos and autographs, he told me, he remembered me from the autograph, and he was like, hey, do you want to do any poses? And I was like, yeah. So we did a normal one, and then we did like a you know, the Undertaker thing. So it was really cool to meet Undertaker. If you guys ever get a chance to meet him, and you guys can afford to, because I know people always charge a lot for Undertaker, I would definitely do it. But obviously don't pay too much if it's way too much. But I think each ticket was probably about each autograph was probably like $100, I think. 75 to $100. And I got 2 of them on top of going into the Comic-Con, those tickets and whatnot. But yeah, that's my number 3. Coming in at number 2 is an autograph by my favorite women's wrestler. And you guys saw this belt maybe like a week ago. It is my SmackDown women's title. So you guys remember from the video, if you guys have not checked it out already, you can go check out my 5 favorite belts in my collection. I have about 10 belts. I picked about half of them. But it is this belt right here. Becky signed it, first SmackDown Women's Champ. And then on this side, she signed her signature. So the story behind this belt was that, as you guys know, usually every year when I go to WrestleMania, I usually meet Becky. And if you guys don't know, Becky already knows who I am by now. She recognizes me when I come meet her and stuff. And so this time around, they announced who was going to be in the Access sessions really, really late. So the Access sessions I picked, I didn't know if she was going to be in any of those. So the minute she was announced, I started checking my sessions to see if she was in my sessions, and she was not. So I was like, oh no, like I wanted to meet Becky. So then I started searching which one she's in, and I sure enough found tickets. I got one of the last tickets because that session was selling out. And so I go, and I'm getting ready to go to the Access, but we had some time to waste. So we went to the Superstore. So I started thinking, well, what am I going to get Becky to sign? Like, I don't have anything. I didn't bring anything. I don't know why I didn't bring anything. I wanted to meet her. I planned on meeting her. So why didn't I bring anything? So then I started thinking about it. I was like, well, let me look around the Superstore. So I started looking. There's some good stuff. I didn't want her to sign a t-shirt. I didn't want her to sign. I already had goggles signed by her. So I was like, so I saw the title. And I was like, can I afford to buy that right now? You know what? It's vacation. It's fine. So I bought it, and I told myself only Becky will ever sign this title. And sure enough, that's how it's going to stay. As you see, I have her side plates on there. And I do plan on getting, getting this belt in a shadow box, and then putting a photo of her winning it, and then a photo of me and her the day she signed this. And a quick story, when you guys go to WrestleMania, know the security guards are going to be a little kind of a stick up their butt. That's a nice way to put it. Because when I went up to Becky, I asked her, could you personalize it saying first SmackDown Women's Champ, Becky? And the security guard, her manager, whoever it was, said, no personalizations, no personalizations. Becky looked at him, grabbed the belt, and said, what did you want me to put on there again? And started signing it. And I know she did it because I've gone to conventions to meet her. You know, I've gone to Accesses everywhere, front row. She always sees me with my Becky Lynch stuff. So I know that's why she did it, because she knows how much of a super fan I really am. And so that is why this is my number 2. And it's just a really cool piece to have. Coming in at number 1 is not a piece of WWE merchandise. It is actually something I made myself. A quick backstory, if you guys don't know, if you guys are new subscribers, because I have some new guys coming in 2013, I got diagnosed with leukemia, which is a type of blood cancer. And because I was 17 years old, I was eligible to do Make-A-Wish. And so I wished to meet my favorite wrestler, John Cena. And so sure enough, I got to go to California. They sent me to Disneyland, to Universal, and to the beach. And I got to go to Monday Night Raw to go meet John Cena. I was front row. But before Monday Night Raw, they take you to the back, like in the area where I guess like maybe the people who own the stadiums have like their business meetings, because it was a big table, and I was able to meet John Cena back there. He signed a lot of stuff, and he signed this one piece that I created, and it is a sign. and this sign reads, "John Cena granted my Make-A-Wish." And it is one of my favorite pieces in my room. It is in my room right as you walk in, and it's hanging on a wall, so I'm not going to take it off because I have it framed and everything. But let me take you guys, and I'll show you guys the my poster. So right here, as you see, I have it saying, "John Cena granted my Make-A-Wish," and he signed it. Sorry, the window, but let me zoom in. There you go. "It was my pleasure, John Cena." So this is one of my favorite things that I have in my collection. As you see those photos right there, Make-A-Wish gave me some pictures of John Cena inside a folder, and so I cut those out and I put them on the side. I feel like they added a good touch. And I try to do the Make-A-Wish little star thing. But yeah, this is my favorite piece. Anytime anyone asks me what's my favorite thing in my collection, it is definitely this sign. So yeah, guys, those are my top 10 favorite autographed items in my collection. I have met hundreds of wrestlers, gotten even hundreds of more things signed, and those are my top 10 most memorable things that meant the most to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you smash the thumbs up. Comment down below what was your favorite item in my collection that I have signed, and what is your favorite thing that you have signed. And with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for the next video.
Are you a supporter of the Marine Corps?
Absolutely.
Great, because a former decorated member of the United States Marine Corps needs your support.